like the way I see it is like, I thought I was narcissistic, but it's not. It's like I'm just reliving my memories, of these moments, and it's just like, it's a great thing. I honestly, dude, I'm so happy for the internet, and that I think now, even just like I've been doing this for a year, and as so much has been going on, and I'm like, bro, why have I not been doing this forever?
This is season 2, guys.
And you're listening to the Lama Podcast.
This fool is a
This is Josh Martinez.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Doros.
This is Nathaniel Morales.
This is Della. What's up? We're the Lama Podcast, man.
And you're listening to the Lama Podcast.
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 Hello, everyone. This is the Lama Podcast, the greatest show, the greatest podcast in the entire world named the Lama Podcast. It is an undeniable fact, and it is a complete certainty. And as you know, I have the great honor of being the host of the best podcast in the world named the Lama Podcast. It's something that, if I can be honest, I feel humbled by. I feel, while being humbled, I also feel that I am better than other people. Do you feel that way, Josh?
I feel like I'm better than you. That's for sure.
No, I don't. I think it's like this. You know what I mean?
No.
Very.
More like me and then you.
Oh, okay. But us collectively, compared to others, it's like this. The graph would look like this, and then everyone would look like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess. You could go with that. Yeah.
So, you are less of a person. You are less important than I am. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know why. I think it's because I have these glasses that I feel like.
That's what I was laughing about. I don't know if you noticed I was laughing right now.
Yes.
And I was just started to think like the story we were talking about Matthew. Like, and Jared has fake glasses on, and
but I'll tell you, friends, I live up to it.
Yeah, he's at least wearing it consistently.
Them.
Yeah, our friend Matthew got glasses once, and he got glasses. We had never seen him with glasses, and he took a service with his glasses on. Immediately after, he never wore them again.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he took them off as soon as he wore them for about 30 minutes. He took them off as soon as he got down from the pulpit, and never wore them again.
Dude, remember he walked in? We're like, "What are you wearing glasses?" He's like, "I wear glasses now."
Yeah,
and we're like, "Oh my goodness, is he gonna be doing this?" And like, he's gonna take church with me. I'm doing this on the podcast because it's kind of like I can be a little weird, a little zany, a little quirky, But he was like about to bring the good word to the people, and I was like, "My goodness, what's he gonna?" And then he went to pray, and by the time he got up, he came up glassesless.
Yeah.
Freaking Josh. Yeah. It's freaking hilarious. But I have accepted it because I understand that I look amazing, and that I was saying this to myself, and I don't know if I'm considered to be a narcissist, but I was looking at myself and I was like, how is it that you are such a beautiful man?
Those frames actually fit your face well.
Yeah, they do, because look, I took them off, and it's like, I look good. I'm still a beautiful man, right?
Kind of ugly.
But now, I'm a gorgeous man.
Yeah, it takes away from your ugliness.
It does. The very little that is present, it takes away from, and then it accentuates my beauty. It's honestly an amazing thing.
And I'm surprised Mutter hasn't roasted you for wearing fake glasses.
No, she was telling me, what's up with the glasses? And I was like, I think they look good on me. They don't work at all. It's just for blue light. And she's like, oh, well, that's cool. That's it. She doesn't ask many questions. She's a simple woman.
I have some glasses that are exactly like that. They're like just a lens, but they help with blue light.
I will say that I think it does help me, because when I've been on my computer, I realize everything looks so blue. And I'm like, blue is my favorite color. So I'm kind of like, it's a little difficult for me because I like to see the color blue. But this takes away the blue light. But I know it's good for my eyes. And I'll tell you what, I do feel like less like headache when I'm looking at a screen for a long time. But yes. Okay, getting into now this amazing show, and stop talking about all my beauty and how I'm a greater human being than most. We are going to bring something that has been with us since not the very beginning, but since our beginnings We are going to do JOVAN'S riddle. Now, I must say,
R.I.P. Jovan.
R.I.P. Rest in peace. Rest in paradise. Rest in Puerto Rico, wherever you may be. But we're gonna be.
Rico. That was a good one. That was a good one.
I thought of that on the spot, bro.
That was good.
But okay, this has not been approved by Jovan, so if he thinks that it's a crap riddle, I'm sorry. But me and Josh think it. Me and Josh, since we are superior beings, you know, me, Josh, Jovan, if you select the amount of people, we are superior human beings. We thought, simpletons, this would be something difficult for them. So this is the riddle.
I got this riddle in 10 seconds, like less than 10 seconds. It was like a second that I got this riddle. So
yeah, Josh was able to solve this within seconds, but I know the
I actually have solved it before you were even done telling me.
Yeah, but I know the average human being, if you cannot solve this in 0.057 seconds, we're not on the same level.
Yeah.
We're not on the same, because I knew it before I even read the riddle.
You're full of crap, Jared.
I already knew the riddle. I did.
No, you didn't.
I'm an amazing person. What do you think?
No,
okay.
you didn't. I guessed it on the right first
Welcome
time before he was even done.
To Joven's riddle, okay? This is the riddle. R.I.P. This is the riddle. Only one color, but not one size. Stuck at the bottom, yet easily flies. Present in sun, but not in rain. Doing no harm, and feeling no pain. What could it be? We will answer that before we end the podcast. Josh, remind me, because you know I have ADHD and I forget things.
We could just do it next time too. I mean, either
yeah,
one.
we could just do it next time
on the
if
live.
we forget. Yes.
Or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. If you don't cheat, comment below on YouTube what you think the answer is. And if you know the answer, do me a favor. Make a wrong answer. Okay? Make it fun for other people. Don't be that guy that's the first comment and it's already right. You know? Do you know what I was thinking about?
People that go to the comments and just look for the answers.
Yeah, they look for the answers. And you know what I got? Jovan posted a thing about, he posted a riddle. Or he sent me one and I posted it on the Instagram. And then 7 people commented the answer. But I was like, oh, okay. But there was only the first comment had the right answer, right? And then there was like likes already. But then all of a sudden people commented. I was like, okay, this is not fair. Because somebody already commented the right answer. If you know the right answer, you don't say it. Right? That's this thing on the internet. You're not a nice person. You don't be the nice guy. You don't make the answer. Right? So even if you know it, comment something wrong. Okay. We will go back to that later. Josh, would you like to talk about your story or should I talk about mine?
It's up to you, dude.
Okay, let's do rock, paper, scissors. Okay? I'm going to turn away for 5 seconds. And I'm going to put something in my hand. You do the same thing and then we'll show each other. Ready? Okay, I'm just doing this because I don't know how we do it through Zoom. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, your story. I put scissors, he put rock.
My story is pretty quick. So
okay.
The day of yesterday, I woke up, right? And my sister comes knocking to my room. She knocks on my door and she's like, hey, Mom wants to know if you want an egg sandwich. I personally love egg sandwiches. I love egg.
I do too.
And I love egg sandwiches. So she asked me, Mom wants to know if you want an egg sandwich. And I'm like, oh, yeah, if Mom's going to make some, I'll take some. So, like, maybe 10 minutes later, I go to the kitchen, and my egg sandwich is done. But I see my sister cooking. And I'm like, what is this? Because she never does anything. Tanai. She never does anything. She doesn't know how to do anything. So
I'm scared for you now.
Yeah, so I'm like, did Anai cook this? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, wow, like I was impressed. I'm like, holy crap, she didn't burn down the house. I was just like holy crap, she didn't burn down the house. She's alive and well. Like this is a step, like this is a progress, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I pray for my food and I take the first bite.
Praise the Lord.
That was the saltiest thing I have ever eaten in my life.
Really?
That was the worst egg sandwich I have ever tasted.
Was it just like spoonful of salt? Like,
dude, it was like drinking like water from the ocean. Worse.
Dang.
I ate all of it because I know she did it with love. So I finished it.
Josh, I have to tell you, you're doing a disservice to your sister.
I talk crap to her, and I'm saying it on the
okay.
podcast, and she'll watch this later, and you suck at cooking. hold back on the salt.
Oh my god! I was gonna say you have to make her feel horrible because that's the only way people learn about stuff like my mom. Every time when I make food, she's like, like she'll like pretend to puke at everything. She won't even finish it. She's like, disgusting. Make me a different thing. Give this to the dog.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I finished it because I know she did it with love.
Yes.
So I finished it, but I was talking crap about it like all day yesterday, and what's it called? And I still bugged her about it, but yeah, she's gonna listen to this podcast later on. She's gonna feel bad about herself. She should, rightfully so.
Yes, you should. Do not kill yourself, but do fall into a little bit of a depression.
No, not that, but like
you know, like when somebody says
something,
you know, like when somebody says something to you, and then you're just thinking about it for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, do they? It's like somebody would be like if somebody says like you stink, and you're just thinking the whole time like, damn, do I really stink? Like, what do I smell like? Like, have you ever told somebody that they stink?
Jovan.
Bro, oh my god, I have such a hard. So, dude, one time it was in 7th grade, right? It was 7th grade, like in the middle of the year, right? And I just got out of like gym, and you know, like you sweat like crazy, and it's just like, you know, I'm like a preteen, and I'm just like sweating like and I'm now being like disgusting smell, you know what I mean? But I remember I was in class one day, and I'm just like after gym, right? And I'm in class, and I'm like, holy crap, someone smells disgusting, right? And I'm like looking around me, I'm like, damn, I feel bad for this. Who is it? Right? And I was like, dear God, it's me. Right? So then I had to go over to the bathroom, look myself in the mirror, and say, Jared, you're freaking gross. You're disgusting. You smell horrible. And that day, I took about 4 showers. I used half a bottle of shampoo and body wash, and I bought a bunch of Axe. And ever since that day, I've been pretty good about not smelling horrible. But when you tell somebody they smell bad,
Javon should work on that.
Bro, but have you ever like told someone that they smell bad, and then like you have like it's like that awkward conversation where it's like they obviously can't do anything in the moment because they're like they're just there smelling bad. You know what I mean? It's like if someone craps their pants and you're looking at them like, you shouldn't crap your pants, and they're just like, I know.
Yeah, but I can't do anything about it, you know.
Yeah, they're like this is a thing they have to go later on in their life and like think about and work on. I don't know. I always think about that. It's so hard. I've told that to somebody, and I remember I felt so bad because I was like, bro, I went private to them like, do you need deodorant? Do you need some? Like, I'll buy you stuff, dude. You know, because I feel bad for the kid, but it was like, it's difficult. It is difficult. But
probably
yeah,
the only person that I like stinks 24/7 is Javon. He's gonna listen to this and be so pissed. He's gonna listen to this and be so pissed.
And then everybody's gonna be like, because then they're gonna think about people that they know that smell, and they'll be like, does Javon smell like this guy?
Yeah.
I always think about that when people say
something. Yeah, so if you guys think like, oh, I wonder if Javon smells like this guy, no, just think about it worse. Oh my god.
Stupid. Nah, but dude, it's like smelling is like such a like I know it's either I like it when people have a smell to them that's just like amazing, right? Like I could think of like 2 people right now that I know whenever I'm around them, I'm like, holy crap, this person smells beautiful. And they have like a smell to them, you know, like
kind of like the smell you tell me that you always like experience when you come to my house.
Yeah. Like there's like certain, and then it's crazy. Smells like remind you of things, right? Like there's this certain smell of like hair products and dog in the air that reminds me of my tia Marjorie's house. Because there's like a beautifulness to it, but then there's also this animal, you know? It's because they have like 20 dogs, you know? So it's like, you know, but I love the smell. It makes me happy. And then hot cocoa. This is crazy because like my mom, because I used to go to therapy when I was younger, right? Because I was very like, I had ADHD, right? So then they would take me like there to try to see like what's up with me, right? And then what the guy would do, I would not like talking to him because you remember like me, Josh, like I was very antisocial with people, you know, especially with new people. And then the therapist would try to talk to me and I'd just be like, you know, like not wanting to talk to the guy. But then this guy made me hot chocolate.
We should have never like let you go to therapy. Now we can't get you to shut the hell up.
For real, I should have just stayed like that. Like I should have been Ted Bundy, just killing people, planning murders.
Now you're an awkward talkative person.
And that's like such a, oh my God, I got dizzy. I need to drink water. Hold up. I haven't drank water today.
No.
I honestly think when I laugh refreshing. Okay, dude. Yeah. I honestly feel like when I laugh, like a different level of oxygen leaves my brain. And like my I don't know if I become stupider or smarter. I believe smarter. But that took a lot from me right there. But look, the therapist, he gave me hot chocolate. And now, whenever I smell hot chocolate, a smile instantly comes to my face. Like that. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, instant joy. And that's why I love Christmas. Because I'm just like, I don't know why. Hot chocolate in the air and marshmallows, they make me happy. But yes. What were we saying about you? Oh, yes. You need to make your sister feel horrible. Please.
She'll learn from it and she won't make that mistake again.
Yeah, she won't make that mistake again. That's what you
know what's the worst part is that like my mom, like my mom wasn't paying attention when she made my egg sandwich.
So she only made you an egg.
She made me and herself one.
Oh.
So she wasn't paying attention when she made mine, but she was paying attention when she made hers. And I guess she stopped her like midway when she was putting salt. Like, hey, that's enough. Like, you don't have to put more.
Yeah.
And even hers was salty. So I can imagine how much more mine was because my mom didn't stop her.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, it was the saltiest crap I've ever tasted. Worst egg sandwich ever. And you suck. Got to you. It was like I appreciate the gesture, but it was nasty.
Bro,
I
it's hard.
I love you.
Yeah, that's hard of it. You have to like eat food just because like it's like a weird. Like if somebody's like, oh my mom makes the best, blah blah blah. Then you're eating it and you're kind of like, damn, this is horrible. This man has low standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're there like,
this is a different conversation that I want to say for a different time. But like when people say like, oh, I love my mom's cooking, she cooks the best, and then like they post pictures and it looks like crap. I'm like, I feel bad for you because your mom's cooking looks like poop.
Or when somebody just has a baby, and they're like, oh, he's so pretty, and they're like, bro, this only a mother would say that. You're like, damn. This how you know a mother's love is unconditional. You know what I mean? Because like that ain't a pretty
I'm over here
baby.
choking and you're still making me laugh. God damn it, dude. I spilled all over myself. You can't even tell me.
That's funny. Hey, but that's true, man. People be like, hey, and I'm sorry, everybody, especially like the audio listeners. I keep drinking water. I haven't drinking water today, and like I just feel that it's filling me up in a way that is just making me like, I don't know, feel amazing. Water, don't underestimate hydration. It's a beautiful thing. Hey, but that's what I'm saying. Like some people, that's what like I hope that when I have a baby, I'll be like, hey, this kid's ugly. You know what I mean? Where I won't be delusional like that. I'll be like, hey, this kid's ugly, but I freaking love my ugly little kid. Right?
Yeah.
Like, why can't we accept the fact that the baby's ugly?
That's how I'm gonna be. Like, if I have like an ugly child, it's like, this is an ugly child. I'm not gonna post pictures of him because he's ugly. Okay? Like,
you're not gonna do him dirty like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be posting pictures when the little thing looks like a turtle. You know, like, you know, if he looks like a freaking like ugly bald turtle, I'm not gonna be posting about him. So it's like like if I was a father, like I
Yeah.
have an ugly son, I love him because he's my son or daughter,
Yeah.
you know. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's so cute. Like, nah, he's ugly.
The
You know, have to
only
accept
the
fact
only
it's ugly.
time you let those pictures go out is when they glow up, and now they're all cute, and then you're like, look how ugly you were, but now you're cute as hell,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Like,
That's all the
an
time.
example of this. I don't know if she watches the podcast, but my cousin Mary. I remember when Levi was born. He's already 6, so it's been a while. When Levi was born, I remember everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's so cute." I remember like when I saw him like really close, I'm like, "This kid is ugly." you guys are like, I was looking at everyone in the room, and I'm like, "You guys are all fake. Well, this kid is ugly." Like, you guys are lying straight to his mother's face. Now Levi's adorable, freaking cute, and everything.
Yeah.
But I remember when he was born, he was ugly. I was just like,
Yeah.
"What is this thing?" Like, I was just like, "This kid's ugly," but now he's adorable. He's freaking cute. He has anger problems, but that's something else.
Yeah, it's like with my little cousin Abigail. Like everybody's like, "Oh my God, she looks so like." We were like, "Man, Marisa probably cheated." Nah, just kidding. But she looks so different. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, "Holy!" Like we would tell her all the time. We're like, "Hey, te nació una niña china. You have like a Chinese little girl."
She looks. Everyone thought she looked like the little girl from Ice Age.
Oh yeah.
From Ice Age #1, she looks like the little girl from Ice Age. She looks exactly like her.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and we would always say like, we're like, "Oh my!" And now she's starting to look like she's growing up a little more. She's like 4 or something, you know. And now she's kind of looking like I can see more of like Abdiel and like them coming out more, you know. But when she's a baby, she's all like you know. She looks all like, it's because she's a baby, you know. They're like, babies come out looking like aliens, man. Have you seen that the top of their head isn't even formed right, and like sometimes it's like mushy. It's like they're
that's how you're supposed to take care of a baby's head. Most important part.
Oh yeah, that's why you don't drop them on the head, right? Because also
I was dropped as a child many times.
I can tell.
Yeah.
It's okay, Josh. No, do you want to talk about it?
We'll save that for another podcast.
Okay, wait. Save that for another. When we're talking about traumatic experiences. When we're talking about our childhood trauma.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Maybe the next podcast, like for Christmas.
A day. Oh yeah, perfect. Christmas
family
problems.
Yeah, like I think that's a perfect like episode. Like we could talk about like family problems and traumatic like experiences right before Christmas, so that it could start a conversation within families. We're smart. That's why we're the #1 podcast in the world named the Lama Podcast.
Yes, we're gonna and then you guys could send in your family problems, and it will be a great topic of discussion when all the family gets together.
Yeah, we want to know. Yeah, we want to know. Like, you have a traumatic experience, send it to us, and we'll talk about it.
Do you have a creepy uncle? Let us know. You guys
have an uncle named Fausto. Let us know.
Oh my God, dude, this is gonna take a serious turn. Fausto passed.
Liar.
Yes.
Don't lie with me, Jared.
I'm not serious. Dead serious. Delante de Dios. Delante de Dios.
What? When? Why didn't you tell me?
I forgot, bro. It was like 2 weeks ago, I think. No, but listen.
And you didn't tell me?
Well, I found out like less than a week ago. None of my family told me.
When was it? Like COVID or what happened?
I don't know. They think it might be because it was also another one of my tias that's like with I think it was like their sister or something.
Holy
but
shit,
another one of my tias, she also passed, but she was very young. She was like 69 or something, or like 70. She passed, and she was the youngest. She's the baby of the family. And they didn't tell me until recently because they were like,
what the hell?
You know. And then for those like that don't know, I'm speaking about you know, and I guess we could talk about him a little bit, right? Because I'll tell you, man. In the moment, I didn't think about it till like the next day.
You know what's funny? So sorry to get off topic, but like I was just looking through memories of Fausto. Like I was going through my memories and I had videos of him. Like literally like 2 days ago.
Oh my God! Really?
Mhm.
Man, so let me just explain to everybody. Fausto is my grandpa's brother, right? So it's my tio or whatever.
He was a
right?
great uncle.
My great uncle. This man was something, and then I don't know if there's words to describe him. You know, just how they say like, you know, There's no way that you can ever describe the, you know, what love is or what it is. There's no way you can describe Fausto. There's no physical human words in any language that can describe this man, right? He was someone who was his own person. He was somebody hilarious without even trying. I don't even know if he knew what the concept of like funny was, but he was funny.
Just him being natural was funny as hell.
Yeah, it was just him being a human being, and he was just hilarious, you know? Like, let me say the situation to someone.
Wait, Jared, I want to say something because people are going to be like, oh, Josh was just talking crap about Fausto. Like if you have an uncle named Fausto.
He's talking crap about my dead uncle.
Way. Yeah, I meant it in a funny way. Like, do you have a funny uncle like Fausto? Like, that's, I didn't mean in like talking crap.
No, once I talk about him, everyone's going to know, like, you're all gonna have an uncle like this. You probably do, right? Like, I'm sure you could think of an uncle that you have like
dude,
that.
Like, I'm still tripping. Holy crap.
Yeah, and I legit I texted one of my
Grandpa,
cousins.
though? How's your grandpa?
I don't know. I haven't talked to my grandpa. He's really busy, man. What
about your grandma?
Well, you know, my grandma, she's a little sick and stuff, you know, so she doesn't like. I don't know if she understands completely.
No, but like health-wise, are they doing well?
Oh, she's doing okay. But my grandma's 84 now. 84. You know, and she's not even with my grandpa anymore because, you know, of everything that she needs to be taken care of and all these things, you know.
They're not in Hermosillo anymore, are they?
No, my grandpa right now he's in Rio Bravo, I believe, by the border of Texas in Mexico. And then my grandma right now is in Guadalajara. They're at the house, you know. Yeah. But, like, let me say a story about my Tio Fausto, right? So some people know a little bit about him, right?
Dude, I'm still tripping. Oh, my God.
Yeah, no, and let me tell you, like, before I say the story, like, I texted one of my cousins, and I was like, she's like a little younger than me. She's like 19 or something. And then I texted her, and I was like, hey, Salma, what the beep? Like, you didn't tell me about my Tio, you know? And she was like, oh, I thought you knew. And I was like, no one freaking told me anything. I was like...
Did Fooder know, at least?
No, my dad found out. I found out before my dad, like an hour before. Because they were texting my mom, and they're like, Adriana, this Tio Fausto passed. He se durmió, right? And then my tia Yoli, too. And they're like, you know, and then they're like, oh, when did this happen? Like a week ago. And we're like, what the people? Why didn't you tell us anything? And I got mad at my cousin. I was like, hey, I know I don't talk to you guys a lot, but like, I really like Fausto, and I like my grandma. I like you all need to tell me when somebody dies. Like, that's the least you can do, right? Let me be sad. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you, it was a weird experience when I heard about it, because part of me was sad, but because of how he, like, I was happy, you know? Because I was like, man, now I'm thinking about him, you know? And just, I'll tell you, every time I remember him and remember little things about him, I laugh so much. It makes me so happy, right?
Like, you don't have a bad memory of Fausto. You have only good, funny memories.
I remember he got mad at me one time ever, but it was hilarious, right? So one time, it was in 2017, I believe. Josh was staying over. Josh and Todos were staying with me and Jovan at my grandpa's house, right? At the upstairs. But before we stayed on the 4th floor, which they just built the 4th floor. But before we stayed at there, we were sleeping in the sala on the 1st floor, right? And my Tio Fausto, he likes to stay there because he's like he likes to go to the prayers, and he goes to the 5, he goes to the 9, he goes to 12, he goes to all the prayers, right? And then we're sleeping there and we're talking all night, right? As you do, and you're like 18, 17-year-old kids, and you're all hanging out with each other in GDL. Your parents aren't there, and there's just an old sleepy man right there on the couch, right? And then we're talking, and he's like, "Que se callan! Cállense! Hablando!" You know? And that's how he would talk. He's like, cállense! And I was like, what? Usted, señor, tengo que ir a las 5. And we're like, and he's like, I could tell he has anger in his eyes. Like, there's rage in him because he's been trying to sleep for the past 3 hours, even though he's already slept about 14 hours throughout the day. There's rage filled in him. He said, I need another 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And then And then he goes to take a piss in the bathroom, right? And he's still talking bad about us. Esos niños. And it's shh. Tiene que parar de hablar. And then we're laughing, right? Because it's so hilarious. He's taking a pee and he's getting mad at us. And then he's coming back. Irrespetuosos. No me respetan. Remember? He's all like that. He's saying, you're so disrespectful.
He goes down the restroom pissed.
Literally?
No, like he was pissed off.
No, exactly. He came from the piss and he was pissed.
He came from taking a piss and he was pissed.
Yeah, because he was like, you're so disrespectful. You know? Because we're laughing at him as he's walking to the bathroom. And he comes out so pissed. I know he wanted to slap me. I know he did. Because he used to, he would beat my dad, you know? Like, for my, he would, any of the kids, he'd be like, get it together. You know what I mean? He was like that guy, you know? And I know he wanted to hit me, man. But he couldn't go down to the floor to hit me, you know, because I'm sleeping on the floor. But that was him, right? And I remember this story. When I first went to go introduce, I believe it was the first time I introduced you and everyone to my tio, right? I was like, guys, let's go to my house. I want you guys to meet my grandpa, because my grandpa, he's like, you know, I always talk about my grandpa. I love my grandpa a lot, and my grandma and everybody. And I was like, you know what? I want him to meet my friends, right? And I was taking them, and I was like, oh, my God. This day, I went to take them to meet my grandpa. But this day just got amazing because my Tio Fausto's here, right? I was like, this is going to be the best experience ever. My grandma's here. My Tio Fausto's here. Some of my tios are there. Jesus Christ, this is going to be amazing, right? You guys are going to have the full Garcia experience of what this melting pot is, right? And I go and I show them, this is my Tio Fausto. He's like, jóvenes, ¿cómo están? And we're like, good, good. We're like, this is Omar. Yo conozco un Omar. And he was like, he swore that he was related to some kid from somewhere in Hermosillo or somewhere you know, in Culiacán or somewhere. He's like, tú eres hermano de David, ¿verdad? He's like, no, I'm from America. He's like, no, no tienes un primo, David. No.
And then he was like, you're trying to trick me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and he couldn't believe. He was like, this kid's lying. He was almost annoyed. Yeah. He was like, this little kid Omar is lying to me. He looks exactly like David's brother, right? and then we were telling my tío, we're like, tío, enséñale a mis amigos dónde escondes tu dinero.
I remember this.
Show them where you hide your money, right? And then he was like,
before you continue, this was his pride and joy. This was his
this was the thing. He's been talking. We told him this because he's been telling everyone that walks into the house, no matter who you are, you're like a 5-year-old kid. He's like, hey, come here. I have something to tell you. I just found something amazing, right? And he was bragging about it. He was like, I'm such a genius. And low key, he was kind of a genius, right?
Yeah, it was pretty smart, actually.
Yeah, and I was looking at it's hilarious, but it was like, oh, you are smart. That's a good thing, you know?
I remember he would always say piensan que soy tonto, pero no.
Yeah, he'd say that, you know? But then he was like, he goes and he's like, see? And he starts unbuckling his pants. And everyone's a little scared because
we're like, holy crap, what's going to happen?
And he's pulling his pants down a little bit, unbuckling, and they're like, oh my God, what's he going to do? They don't know what's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Omar, he was covering his eyes. He's like, Jared, why are you doing this to your tío? Because he thought we're trying to trick him or being mean to him, you know? Because he thinks my tío's he did think, you know, my tío's not normal, but he's not crazy. You know what I mean? He's not you know, stupid, you know? But he's not normal. But this guy's unbuckling his pants. And then
eyebrows, normal.
Hi, I'm normal. That was not him at all. But he unbuckles his pants and he opens up his pants like this, right? And you see inside there, he sewed in a pocket, right? And he pulls out a stack of cash. And he's like, aquí tengo mi dinero. Y nadie me lo puede robar. Right? And we're like, what the heck? Everybody's like, and we're like, why would you do that? Right? He's like, pues mire, si me duermo en el bus, this guy knows himself so well, right? He knows that he falls asleep everywhere.
Damn, dude, I miss Fausto, man.
Yeah, and he was like, si me duermo en el bus, nadie me puede robar el dinero. He's like, porque aquí está. He's like, van a tener que quitarme el pantalón. And I was like, man, sí, tienes razón, tío. Te van a tener que violar para robarte. He's like, no, y no me van a hacer eso. Qué cochinadas. Right? And this is my tío. He just met all of these, like, 15 to 17-year-old kids, and he took his pants off in front of them. Right? And he showed them his money. Right? So this was my tío, man. Like, he's just like, and he was also, he would literally, like, the last, like, 20 years of his life, he would sleep almost every day at church, and he'd get waken up at, like, 4:30 by people singing, you know? Like, this was the type of guy he was. He was, like,
remember when we found him sleeping after church next to the flowers in the calzada?
Oh, yeah. He's like, I remember he was telling me one time I found him again like that another day. And he's like, si te fuiste a la oración. I was like, yes. He's like, oh, yo pensé que el director del coro no iba a ir. Like, I was like, what the heck is this saying? You know? But yeah, he would always be there, man. He'd always be there like that, you know? And like I was saying, it's a little sad, but I'll tell you, like, I don't know if I just haven't, like, grieved or whatever, but I feel more, like, happy about it because I was like, you know what? I get to remember him, and I remember him being a strong person and being such, like, sure of himself. I remember one time he was with my uncle, and he was telling him, he's like, he told him, come up behind me, and I pretend like you're going to rob me, right? He told this to my uncle Oscar, right? Something like that. He's like, what are you going to do to me? You know, he's like, he's old, whatever, you know? And he comes up behind him, and he's like, and he starts trying to grab him around, right? And he has this big old boot, right? And he steps on his toes. And literally, he left his toe purple. And he fell to the ground crying, right? He's like, usted cree que no soy fuerte. And he does his little tap.
You do his voice perfect.
Yeah, exactly how he's like, you know, it's like if he was like about to tell you something,
like if he was like always laughing. Like,
yeah.
It sounded like he was laughing like 24/7.
Oh yeah, it sounded like he was always laughing about everything. It's because that's how he was. Everything was so positive, you know, like positive outlook about everything, about life. You know,
I'm so tripping, homie. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring this bomb to you. I thought I told you already, because dude, but
like, no, none of your family has told me.
And I don't even know exactly what it was that happened. You know, if he had corona or like I don't know. I mean, it could be because it was really sudden. That's what they said. They were like, it was just sudden. You know, like, you know, they don't.
Where was he? In Guadalajara, or where was he?
No, he was in where's my tia at? I forget, some part up north of like 5-7 hours. I forget, I can't remember, because that's where he usually stayed with my tia and their family. He would stay over there, like about 8 hours north, you know, of Guadalajara, you know. So I don't know. He's probably there.
Wow.
Yeah, but they don't know. It's sad. You know, and it
See,
just made me think about like
family on Thanksgiving, the Christmas thing, because it brings up things like this.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's it. And I'll tell you, man, I've been thinking a lot about family lately, you know? Especially here, you know, like I always think, like, especially after that happened, you know, I would look at my dad a lot and I'd be like, you know what? I have so many things to remember my dad, you know? Like, obviously, I feel like if my dad would something happen to him, I feel a lot more sad, obviously, you know? Because, like, my dad is, like, legit one of my best friends, you know? Like, I'm so close to my dad. But
I think, like, if something were to happen to your dad, I would always remember, like, those moments when he would, like, scream at Javon and say, "Tú eres un bully." Javon would bully his dad.
He would look, like, so offended. He's like,
yeah.
"Tú eres un bully."
Like, he was, like, gonna cry. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah. No, man. But I always think about that it's like, you know, I feel like every time with Fausto, I always had good memories, you know? And then I never had something that I had against him that would make me feel bad about what I did or like what I said to him, you know, because he was like, even when we would joke with him, you know, he would joke with
He would
us.
joke along. Yeah, he would joke along.
Yeah, because we'd be like, man, Fausto, ¿por qué? And then like we'd be like trying to say something kind of like mocking him, you know? Because he'd be saying something, he's like, ¿Usted me crees menso? And we're like,
Yeah.
no, we don't. He's like, pues tú eres el menso. Mire cómo tienes tu pelo.
Yeah.
You tell that to Joanna all the time, you know? He's like, mire cómo tienes tu pelo.
That's when Jovan had his hair painted.
Yeah, he had his hair like painted like light brown, and it was all big and poofy, right? He told him, "Te miras como
like a
una
pineapple.
piña."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look like a pineapple.
yeah. Oh, it was freaking hilarious.
That's crazy, dude. I still can't believe it. Holy crap.
Yeah, no, and it makes me think, like, you know, I have never had, I think to this day, I have never had a major, like a big, like, family member of mine pass. You know, like I never knew my grandpa on my mom's side. Both of my grandmas are alive. My grandpa on my dad's side is alive. Basically all of my uncles, my aunts are alive. I only have one great uncle that has passed, you know, but I wasn't ever very, very close with him, you know, and I've never had something like that like happen to me, you know, and I always think about that. It's like because you hear stories from other people where it's like you know something happens, and they were in a bad situation, you know, they're like, you know, so when when stuff like this happens, I always think like, you know what, I always have to make sure I'm close with the people that I love, you know, not have issues with them. And you know, it's like when they say like never go to sleep angry at somebody, you know, you never know what's gonna happen, you know. And it's like, oh, maybe, you know, like it's something that happened and you're not talking to this person for a few months, you know. Well, you don't know what's gonna happen in a few months, you know. It's like it's always good to like, you know, fix the things like that. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about that. You know, and it's like something I don't want to take away from people's experience of this podcast, you know, but, you know, it's like those times right now with your family, you know, just like if you're there with your family and you're able to spend time with them, take advantage, you know. And one thing I'll tell you is like with this podcast, it makes me so happy that I'm recording so much of my life and talking about it, because I'm like, dude, I can look back at so much stuff. Like, I'll tell you, I listen to old episodes and I was like, oh my crap, oh my God, you know, I get to relive this experience again, you know? And like, I know like how I felt in the moment, my emotions, and how, oh my God, I forgot about this, I forgot about that. And then I think, and the same thing like with your family, you know? It's like, it's good to be with them because then you always remember these things. You always remember these experiences and everything, you know? You know, so everybody out there.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Like,
if you can be with your family, take the time, man, and take advantage of it. Take pictures, you know. Don't care how you look. Just take pictures, take videos, post about it. Who cares, you know? Like, and if you can't post about it, save it on your phone, man, and talk with your family and enjoy the moments, you know? Like, because it's family's great, man. Family's beautiful. Man, I just been thinking about that so much lately.
yeah, and then it's like how you said, like, you know, you look back at like even the old episodes that we've been on, and like we could like we're able to like relive it, like the moments that we're laughing on the podcast, like that we're rewatching it. I'm laughing again just as much as when like I'm rewatching it again, you know.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that, like later on in life, like we're gonna like if we were to like lose our memory or something, we could look back like, damn, this was funny. Like I remember this, like I had forgot about this and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy too because like at one point I was thinking, I was like, man, am I narcissistic? That I watch myself, I listen back to myself, because I'll be honest, I listen back to like to our podcast, right? And sometimes I can't find anything good on the internet, and I'm like, you know what? Let me listen to my damn self, right? And I listen to an old podcast, or I listen to the new one or something, you know? Like I just re-listened to the Oz one, like the other day, because I was going for like a 3-hour drive, you know? I was like, let me listen to this podcast again, you know? And I was laughing and I was enjoying it, you know? And I was like, oh, okay, like, oh, I said this, I don't know, you know, maybe not the best, I said this, I don't know. Oh, yeah, you know? And I don't, like, the way I see it is like, you know, I thought I was narcissistic, but it's not. It's like, I'm just reliving my memories, of these moments, and it's just like, it's a great thing. I honestly, dude, I'm so happy for the internet, and that I think now, even just like I've been doing this for a year, and as so much has been going on, and I'm like, bro, why have I not been doing this forever? Just even if it's just like personal, like honestly, I would tell people that if you can, make little videos for yourself, or just talk about stuff for yourself, because it's just so, I don't know about you, but even the few podcasts that you've been on, I'm sure that you've gone back and you just think, oh, this is hilarious. You get to laugh again, Of like when we watched the Adriel fight, Like, dude, it was a memory I totally forgotten about. And you told me I have the video. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is going to be amazing, And then now I look back and I'm like, now there's a physical thing that, like a thing that I can go back to and relive this memory. And it's the podcast, And yeah, I don't know. It's just amazing, man.
Hello, we interrupt this scheduled programming to ask you to please subscribe to Lama Podcast on YouTube and other platforms. Look at this graph! Look at it! This is unacceptable. Please, I ask you, subscribe to us on your favorite platform, especially YouTube. Also, please go over to our website and go to our support page and support us by either using our Amazon affiliate links, which we get a commission from, donating to us directly, or becoming a monthly subscriber on Anchor. That is all. Thank you.
And I'm gonna say something right now, Jared, and it's gonna like help you like switch something into your brain. CVS.
Okay, let's do this! This is the story of CVS and a beautiful black woman and a screaming man, okay? So, first the story starts with a small Colombian woman screaming in her room, okay?
Smooter?
Yeah, Smooter. This starts all the way over there in our gentle home, our gentle abode. So my mom is like, she's been having some issues with her hand. And like, it's been like, I think she has like carpal tunnel. And she's like, holy crap, my hand hurts. And she's like yelling and like telling me, go get me something for my hand. I was like, okay. And I went to CVS, right? And I was like, let me look for some cream or like a pill or like something, And I'm there for like 10, 15 minutes. And honestly, like, since everything is so far, I'm like aprovechando to like walk around the store just because I'm bored at home and I'm in the house bored. So I was like, let me walk around. And then I finally find the cream, and then I start going to the front to pay for it, right? Because I'm a good citizen. I don't steal. But then I go, and there's this man who's like with his arm like this, and he's like, ah! Ah! And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? And he's like, ah! My arm! Like SpongeBob, right? And I'm like, Jesus, what's going on with this man, right? And I'm like, are you okay? He's like, and he has like a bunch of weird like straps around him. I'm like, what's going on? Like, he's like, my brace came apart. And he had like an arm brace to hold his arm up, and it like fell apart. And he's like, ah, my arm. And I just had surgery. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? And I drop my stuff, the one thing I had, and then I go and I my stuff. But I dropped the one thing I had, a little bottle like this big, and I put it on the floor. I had to do a lot. I had to sacrifice a lot for this random man at CVS. And then I go and I'm like, what happened? He's like, help me put the thing, please. And I was like, I put it around him, and I put the thing, and he had like a little pad to like be on his like on his hip, like right here. Let me show you guys. Like, he had a thing to put right here so it could like,
Yeah, I get you.
Be like in a certain position, right?
Right.
So then I was like, let me help you. And he's like, oh my God. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you. Oh, thank you. And he's like crying, right? And then he like drops down to his knees. I was like, what's going on? And then he opens up the pack that he just bought, and he just squirts out a bunch of cream and rubs it on his arm. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with this man? I'm like, he must be in pain. If he's going right away to put the cream or the whatever on his arm, he didn't have a rash or something, but I think it was like some sort of like muscle cream or like icy hot type of crap. And I'm looking at this man, and I went to go pay. And then when I'm done paying, he's like, excuse me, sir, looking at me like that, like a dog, right? And I was just like, yes, right? And obviously, I don't know if this man, I don't want to make assumptions, because I'm not a racist person, but he was a white guy. And he was looking at me like that, and he had a torn shirt, and it was all. I was like, okay, this guy seems a little weird. You know, maybe he's lacking a home, if you know what I mean. But he was looking at me. He's like, thank you so much. I was like, no problem. I'm gonna go now. He's like, wait, my home is about 7 miles away. Can you get a ride? I was like, no, sir. I'm sorry. You look at yourself. You know, you wouldn't give yourself a ride. You know what I mean? Obviously, I did not say that to him. I'm a decent person. But I'm thinking, I'm like, bro.
Decent. He's not a good person.
I'm not a good person. Just decent.
He's not a good person. He's just decent and barely decent.
No, and I'm like, bro, like, you know, like, I'm like, oh, my mom, I have to take this to her. She's in pain. And he's like, oh, I understand. That's okay. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I just had some cert. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to talk to this guy for a little bit. And I'm still at CVS inside. Like, the register's like 5 feet away, you know? And he's
you
like,
still haven't paid?
Oh, I paid already. But
okay.
I'm like looking at him with my receipt, and I'm like, you know? And looking at like, okay. And he's looking at me on his knees, just like, yeah, it's just, you know, I just had surgery. And I was like, oh, what happened? He's like, well, I was at work in my arm, and then I had to have surgery on my rotator cuff, and then this on my arm, and then now I'm like this, and the thing doesn't even work, and have to buy this cream. And I was like, damn, you have a lot of issues. You know what I mean? Poor guy. And as he's telling me this, you know, kind of like getting in his feels a little bit, he's having a moment, you know, this beautiful black woman comes into the store, right? And I say this because black people are beautiful, and this woman was exceptionally beautiful. And she's like seeing me talk to this man on his knees and like in pain and with the brace. And she's like, excuse me? And I was like, I thought she was going to say something like, can you like get out the way or something, right? She's like, excuse me, does that work? She was asking me about the little bottle I had. And I was like, wait. I was like, is she really? And I was like, what? And she's like, that cream. And I was like, this? And she said, yeah, does that work? I'm like, to be honest, ma'am, I have no idea. It was the first thing I found on the shelf that seemed like it would help my mom. And she's telling me, she's like, dang it. I was like, dang it. I need something for my knees. I've been having a lot of pain. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Was it an old black lady or a young black lady? Like...
She was like in her 30s, maybe. She was about like 6'4".
No.
Yeah, she was big. She was beautiful. You know what I mean? She was big and beautiful. You know what I mean?
She was a BBW?
She was a big, beautiful woman. You know what I mean? She was a BBBW. A big, beautiful black woman.
She's so dumb.
She was gorgeous, you know? And she's telling me, she's like, and she had these beautiful braids. Oh my God. But I'll be honest, some black women are very beautiful. She had these amazing hair. They take care of their hair so much. Mm-hmm. You know, but she was like, and I was thinking after she told me, I was like, this woman really interrupted a conversation I was having with the man on the floor to ask me about a little bottle that I'm holding in my left hand. You know? And she said to me, she's like, man, I need something for my knees. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, you have some pain? Or she's like, it's just my muscles hurt. And I was like, oh, well, I think it works. I told her it says, I read the bottle to her. I'm like, it says extreme pain relief. She's like, ooh, how much was that? I was like, it's about $4. She's like, ooh, I'm going to go get it. What about? I'm like, aisle 12, ma'am, right over there. And she's like, thank you. She smiled at me all like that. And I was continuing the conversation I had with the man on the floor. And he looks at me, he's like, and I was like, what were you saying? And then he's like, my rotator cuff, you know? And I got to walk so far. I was like, I would give you a ride, but I have to go. My mom's in pain. And she told me she really needs this thing. I understand. Totally understand. You know? And he's like on the floor, like, I understand. You know, trying to get me into my feels. And then he looks at me, he's like, he sees me with my leather jacket, right? I have this leather jacket on. He's like, do you think you have a spare jacket? Because it's like 25 degrees outside. He's looking at me like, you know, like with those eyes. And then and then I was like, let me go to the car to see if I have one, right?
And since you're a decent person,
Since I'm a decent person, I went to the car. I looked around to see if there was a jacket. There was one. It was my brother's. So I was like, I can't give that to him, and I left. So yeah, that's why I'm a decent person, because I was like, nope, this jacket, yeah, I looked, and I was like, even though, I'll be honest, when I went to go look, I was looking, and I was thinking to myself, like, I'm not going to give him any jacket I find. You know what I mean? But I was like, let me tell my brain that I would. And I found the jacket, and I was like, you know what? Should I? I was like, nah, my brother would be mad at me. Even though he only wears this jacket, like, very rarely, he would be very mad at me. And that's the story of a beautiful black woman and a screaming man in CVS. I think he was still waiting for me on the floor. Legend says that he's still on the floor.
what day was this?
It was Friday. Oh no, it was Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
It was Wednesday. Today is Saturday. So the man is still on the floor.
Well, you know your day of the week. I'm glad.
Yes, I do. Monday, I go to work. Tuesday, I can't find my shirt. Wednesday, I'm feeling blue. I'm hopeless, darling, without you. Yeah, I don't know if other people know that song or if it's just like a thing that like at our school. You remember that? Did you ever hear that song?
No.
No?
Not at our school.
No? Oh, I went to Taylor and they would sing it all the time. I remember like we sang it all the
Oh,
time.
I didn't go to Taylor.
Ah, that's why.
Really black.
But yeah, this was our beautiful story. This was our episode. I'm going to try to get this out hella soon because I was like, we don't got a pod soon, we need something, and with me and Josh, we wanted to have something out, and then we're going to have another episode for Christmas, right? A Christmas episode. And we want to have some way for you guys to participate in it. And to be honest, as you know, with this show, we are horrible at planning things. So once we figure it out,
I'm good. He's not.
Yes, yes, you understand. But once we figure out what we want to do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna post about it on Instagram. Make sure you guys go follow us at the Lama Podcast. So we're gonna post about that, and we could see how you guys want to participate in there. If you guys want to go to be part of the show somehow, maybe with the video submission, I think that's what we're gonna end up doing, and we'll let you guys know more about that. Anything else, Josh? You want to let the people know?
Have a Merry Christmas. Spend time with your family. I hope you guys enjoy it. Obviously, we'll have a Christmas episode coming out soon, but in advance, Merry Christmas on behalf of the Lama Podcast. We have some news coming up. Hopefully, we'll have it for the next podcast or maybe for one of the lives. But, we appreciate the love that we've gotten so far. If you guys haven't canceled us because of the last episode, thank you for watching us now. We appreciate your love.
Thank you for being here, estando con nosotros. I didn't get that many messages. I got only 2. I got 2. I got from one female, and then I got from the people that we spoke about. Because I was like, hey, I spoke about you, and they're like, I thought this, blah, 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 blah. And they told me about it, right? But, go listen to that episode. Maybe you regret watching this, and you want to, hate. You want to dislike. I'm still waiting for our first dislike. So, please, dislike this video.
We haven't gotten the dislike?
No.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, haters, if you're going to hate, please, make it known.
Make it known, yeah.
Yeah, please dislike this video. Let me know that you dislike me. Hurt my self-esteem. Hurt my ego. Please. I want to fall into a depression. Okay? That is my desire. But, yeah. And like Josh was saying, you see he has a beautiful shirt on. We're going to be coming out.
Oh, let me show the back part. Sorry.
Yes. And obviously, yes, look at that. Lama Squad Podcast. Obviously.
Back. That felt good.
We are still, working on it. But we will be coming out very soon with merchandise that you can purchase. I don't know if we're going to call it merchandise or if it's going to be apparel. Actual good clothing, because I don't want to give. I've been telling you guys, right? Josh knows this, right? And we could end after this, right? that people have been begging us for merch. People have been begging us, and I say this because the people that have been begging us, they're probably listening right now, right? And I don't care about. I do care about you guys, but I know you guys are okay if I waste a little bit of your time talking about this, right? That you guys been begging us for merch, but I don't want to just put a stupid little llama on a shirt, or just put Llama Podcast, and show you guys something. We're working on some
come
stuff.
up with designs. That's basically what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
They can make it short because Jared always gets off topic and starts saying random crap. We're trying to make up better designs for you, and it's taking time because we want.
It has to actually be cool.
Yeah. Not only that, we want to have different ideas and not just have plain. This is a plain shirt. It looks cool. It shows the Llama Podcast or whatever, but we want to have different designs.
Yeah, we're gonna have designs and things that are that represent not only us as a show, but things that you would wear that you'd feel comfortable wearing out anywhere. Things that are nice and things that are high quality. So that's what we're trying to work on. Hopefully very soon we can announce to you guys that we have something launching officially. Not yet, but here's a little glimpse of what Josh is wearing. We appreciate you guys so much for listening to the show. Another little sappy thing. Thank you. We appreciate it. You guys have been listening thousands of times. You've been listening for hundreds of hours, and you've been coming back many times to us and coming to us and sending us messages. It means the world. It means everything that you guys like what we're doing. Even the hateful ones, man. I'm so happy that you guys are on us with this journey, and that we've inspired other people, and that this brings happiness to you. And I hope you guys have a freaking amazing Christmas. Hope you guys are able to spend it with your family. Hold and cherish them. Listen to this podcast at the end of the day after you spend time with them, and just live life. Be happy. This has been the greatest podcast in the entire world, named the Llama Podcast. I am Jared. This is my best friend Josh, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Later, llamas.
Okay. Let's go.
Thank you.